What's something your parents did when you were younger that you thought was normal? Every night after mom went to bed, dad would knock on my door and ask if I had a minute to talk. I was 6 when this started. He'd sit on my twin bed, still in his work clothes, and just unload. "Your mother doesn't understand me," he'd begin. "She thinks I'm irresponsible with money, but she doesn't see how hard I work. 8 hours dealing with complete idiots at that office." I'd nod seriously, clutching my stuffed elephant. Dad was trusting me with grown-up information. "And your grandmother," he'd continue. "That woman's been trying to ruin our marriage since day one. Called me a loser at our wedding reception." These sessions could last hours. He talked about his childhood, how his father abandoned them when he was 12, how his mother worked 3 jobs and still couldn't keep the lights on. "I'm trying to be better than he was," he'd say. "That's why I work so hard." I felt special. Other kids got bedtime stories. I got real life. By age 8, I knew dad had $14,000 in credit card debt mom didn't know about. I knew he'd been passed over for promotion because his boss had it out for him. I knew mom cried in the bathroom after their fights. When I turned 10, dad started asking for my opinion. "What should I do about your mother's spending?" he'd ask. "She bought another purse yesterday. We've got bills to pay." I'd suggest they talk about it together, and he'd shake his head. "You can't reason with her. That's why I talk to you instead. You actually listen." I took this seriously. I'd lie awake trying to solve dad's problems, a knot of guilt in my stomach. What if I gave dad the wrong advice? What if their marriage fell apart because I wasn't smart enough to fix it? Maybe if I was really good, they'd stop fighting. The night before my 13th birthday, dad came in particularly upset. "I think your mother's having an affair," he said. "She's working late, taking calls in the other room. 20 years of marriage down the drain." My chest tightened with panic. If they divorced, it would be my fault for not helping enough. I spent that night researching divorce laws online, frantically trying to find ways to save my parents' marriage. Everything changed when I mentioned our talks to my friend Zoe during a sleepover. "Your dad tells you about their marriage problems?" she asked, confused. "Yeah, doesn't your dad talk to you about stuff?" "No," she said slowly. "That's what therapists are for." The way she said it made something click. I started paying attention to other families. Friends' parents didn't complain about their spouses to their children. They didn't ask 12-year-olds for relationship advice. When I was 15, I took psychology class. The term parentification hit me like a truck. I'd been dad's therapist since kindergarten. That night, when dad knocked with his usual request to talk, I stopped him. "Dad, you should talk to mom about this stuff, or a counselor." His face darkened. "So you're abandoning me too? Just like everyone else?" "I'm not abandoning you. I'm just a kid. This isn't my job." He stared at me, then walked out without another word. The nightly session stopped. Dad barely spoke to me for months, treating me like I'd betrayed some sacred trust. 2 years later, my parents divorced. I started seeing an actual therapist who helped me understand that I'd spent a decade trying to fix problems that weren't mine to solve. Last month, dad called. "He's getting remarried. You were the only one who really understood me back then," he said. "I was a child," I replied. "I shouldn't have had to understand any of that." Long pause. "Well, maybe my new wife will be a better listener." I didn't respond. There was nothing left to fix.